The Premier League was back with an absolute banger. In Manchester City's case, a whimper, because they fell to a 5th successive defeat, seeing their grip at the top of the Premier League table slipping away as they were absolutely smashed by Tottenham Hotspur. This meant that Liverpool's journey to the South Coast couldn't end in anything less than 3 points when they faced the Southampton side fighting for their lives in the Premier League. And while many of us expected this to be a bit of a breeze for the Reds, it was anything but, with Southampton giving as good as they got and pushing Liverpool right to the edge of their abilities. But what were the biggest takeaways from this match? Welcome to Good Sport Reviews, and this is 5 things we learned from Southampton 2, Liverpool 3. And while you're at it, please make sure to click like and subscribe. Let's try and reach 3,000 by the end of the year. Thank you very much. Number 5, Premier League referees couldn't organise a piss-up in Newcastle. If you've seen the recent video on this channel where I give my thoughts on the walking embodiment of mouldy spam that is David Coote, then you will know that I have as much of a positive opinion about match officials as Donald Trump does for Mexico, with this match simply showing off the biggest flaws in the modern standard of match officiating. First off, the air quotes foul by Ibrahim Konate on Adam Armstrong was about as soft as a gentle summer breeze. Secondly, as much as I love Adam Lallana, I'm not quite sure how a studs up slide tackle against Ryan Gravenberch just above his ankle is a yellow card and not a red. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen many other players sent off for much less. And thirdly, Southampton should have had a penalty, considering Kelleher basically clattered into Adam Armstrong while he was in the middle of a Liverpool defender sandwich and got nothing of the ball. But the decision which really caused controversy was when Andrew Robertson, who we'll get to soon, completely took out Tyler Dibbing outside the box, which of course resulted in a penalty? Now, yeah, I understand that if there's no grounds to overturn the on-field official, then the VAR decision will go with the referee's judgment, but you can see the tackle clearly take place outside the box, and even if the tip of Dibbling's foot is on the line, why is it the rule sways in favour of a penalty? If the ball's going out, but is even the tiniest bit on the line, it stays in play, because that allows the game to flow and not change too much. But giving a penalty which could completely change the direction of the match over the so-called lack of conclusive evidence is just lazy and poor officiating on display. Number 4, Andrew Robertson looked lost again. In the last game where Andrew Robertson looked back to his imperious best, we made a point of explaining how that match could be a possible jumping off point for the Scotland captain, but clearly the time away from the Reds hasn't helped the form or consistency of the Liverpool veteran. During the full 90 minutes, Andrew Robertson was pushed incredibly high up the pitch due to Liverpool's possession-based style of play and high line, meaning that when the likes of Tyler Dibbling got the ball, he had plenty of space to exploit, with Robertson struggling to track back and seeing him dribble past twice, which also saw him win just 2 of his 6 ground duels in the process. Not only that, but despite him being in the forward areas quite a lot, he rarely struggled to offer any kind of major impact in an attacking sense, with only 3 of his 11 crosses actually meeting their intended targets and only 1 of his 4 long balls being an accurate one. We've seen Robertson struggle majorly at points this season against tricky wingers with the likes of Saka, Madueke and now Dibbling, all showing off the lack of pace that's slowly creeping into the Scots game, and that was evident throughout this match, with the penalty decision just highlighting how much he struggled to keep up with the intensity of this end-to-end match. Number 3, Dominic Soze showed his true qualities. Of the midfield players this season, Dominic Soze is probably the one who has impressed fans the least, with Ryan Gravenberch and Alexis McAllister both dictating tempo of matches in that double pivot role, making sure the possession remains with the Reds throughout, while Curtis Jones has gone from strength to strength since the Chelsea match a few months ago. This means that Dominic Soze is the player who's been really competing to get back into this team, and this match proves to everyone just what he can offer to this Arne Slot side. During the 90 minutes, Szoboszlai whipped his arse off, with his heat map showing just how spread across the pitch he was, with him contributing massively in a defensive sense, committing 4 tackles, winning 6 of his 8 ground duels and producing 1 interception, which was noticeable throughout the match, with him often travelling back to break up play in the Southampton midfield during the transitions. And not only that, but he was a constant danger going forward as well, with the number 10 for this match picking up an 85% pass completion rate, with one of those being a big chance created, and he also picked up a vital goal to break the deadlock in the 30th minute, with him showing enough killer instinct to score from an Alex McCarthy mistake and take advantage of the confusion in the box. Szoboszlai has been a pressing machine for the Reds this season, and honestly, you can't fault his work ethic, but no doubt he needs more games and moments like this if he wants to become a mainstay in this this Liverpool midfield. Number 2, Liverpool haven't offered Mo Salah a new contract yet. I honestly don't have the words to explain how much of a Liverpool legend Mohamed Salah is. Once again, he produced moments of absolute footballing brilliance, which swung the match back into Liverpool's favour at a point where Southampton were growing in confidence and looked like they could derail a trip down to the south coast. For the first half, Salah was involved, but he couldn't get a foothold in the game, struggling to make anything of major substance happen up front. But that second half was the stuff of beauty, with Mo Salah picking up one key pass, completing 2 of his 3 attempted dribbles, and also scoring 2 goals to win Liverpool the match, with the first being a spectacular first-time finish from a Ryan Gravenberch long ball past the keeper, and the second being a penalty which was smashed so far into the top corner, it's a miracle it didn't get stuck between the goalposts. Now, it's easy to talk about how fantastic of a player Mohamed Salah is, with him recording 12 goals and 10 assists in 18 matches this season, being the fastest ever Liverpool player to reach double digits in both metrics in a season. But it's not the fans who need convincing, it's clearly the ownership. After the match, Mo Salah was asked several questions by reporters outside the ground, one of which was regarding his contract situation, to which Mo responded by saying he hasn't been offered a new contract yet as we head into December, and that he's more out of the club than he is in it, which is absolutely disgusting from the higher ups of this club. Mohamed Salah is the best right winger in world football and putting out better numbers now in his 30s than most people in their prime could only dream of. He is a living legend for this football club and is without a doubt one of the best players in the history of English football. Take any concerns about age and money and put them in the bin. Give the Egyptian king what he wants, and let's keep this club icon here for as long as possible, because if anyone deserves it, it's Mohamed Salah. And number 1, Liverpool are in a title race. Only 3 teams before this one have had an 8-point lead after 12 Premier League matches. Manchester City in the 2017-18 season, Manchester United had a 9-point lead in the 1993-94 season, and of course Liverpool in the 2019-20 season. What do all those sides have in common? They all went on to win the Premier League title. In fact, this fantastic start made by Arne Slot's Liverpool is the joint second best in the history of the league, and is level with the likes of Manchester United's ridiculous 2006-17 and Chelsea's near unbeatable 2005-6 side. As much as we don't want to admit it because we've been hurt before, Liverpool are absolutely in the right position to be going for the Premier League title, with Arsenal suffering from inconsistency and already being 9 points behind us in the table, and Manchester City are in a major decline, having lost 5 matches in a row, with them missing the likes of Rodri and Diaz in the squad. And next week they have to make the trip to Anfield in the hopes of reigniting their title chances, a ground they've only won at twice since 1956. And should Liverpool be able to pick up the 3 points in this, the most important match of the season so far, then we find ourselves 11 points ahead of the side who have won the division for the past 4 years. And at that point, you can't help but dream. This Southampton match was a test, and at points it didn't look like we'd be able to overcome this team fighting for Premier League survival. But like the Brighton game a few weeks ago and the Arsenal game before that, there was quite simply no quit in this side, and even when we're playing poorly, we still seem to be able to get the results, which doesn't bode well for the Sky Blues next week. And that's our list. If you're new around here, please make sure to click like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this Liverpool match. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.